So this questioner is saying that prayer is prohibited in their workplace should they quit. So there are two things to address. One, prayer is prohibited. That's a pretty big statement. I mean, if you're writing and you're living in North America or Western Europe, I'm pretty sure that in most of these countries, freedom of worship, religion are protected, whether as in law or employee rights. So I would want to just double check that. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe there are many things that I don't know of, so that could be the case. But I would double check. I would not just assume that that's the case, and I wouldn't double check by asking your employer, because maybe it's not in their incentive for them to accommodate, and they're trying to skirt around that. But I would do your own research. But let us assume, for the sake of the question, that that's the case. Should you quit? No, because you can't stop your work or your rizq and cause more harm for yourself. So then how do you deal with this situation? As I've stated in previous discussions, that there is the rukhsa, there is the dispensation to combine your prayers even if you're not traveling. And this is particularly an opinion in the later Shafi'i school, or it's an opinion in the Shafi'i school, and the later Shafi'is discussed this extensively, which is to say that there's a hadith in Sahih Muslim in which the Prophet ﷺ, he combined his dhuhr and his asr, his maghrib and isha in Medina for no reason, meaning not for the reason of traveling. So if you are at work, you can delay your dhuhr and pray it at the later time of asr when you go home, depending on what time of year that is the case. And therefore you'll get out of this problem altogether. You won't have to miss your prayer, you won't have to cause problems at work, you won't have to quit your job and be jobless, etc. And you can delay your prayer. Or you can bring asr up to dhuhr. Maybe you work in the afternoon, not in the morning, or whatever the case may be. And of course, it depends if it's the summer or if it's the fall or the winter or the spring. I know that the times change greatly. But if you're like in the summertime, when maghrib is so late anyway, then you can definitely just pray dhuhr and asr when you get home. Maghrib might not even be until close to 9 o'clock at night. So you could pray dhuhr and asr at 8, for example, and you'd be fine. You'd avoid all of that problem. So this is a time where this ruling, this rukhsa, this license, this dispensation is very, very useful and very, very helpful. And you can continue praying like that as long as you are in that position. Now, if another job opens somewhere or you get a job offer, by all means, take it. But use this opportunity when you're entering a new job to make sure that your rights are protected. People that smoke, I always say that they're allowed to go outside somewhere and on a curb or in a parking lot or up on a roof or something and have a cigarette break. It really shouldn't take that much time to wash and say your prayers, maybe even less time. And again, when you're praying at work, you're not praying taraweeh. You're not busting out with 2 juz in the prayer. Make the prayer short and sweet, and get back to work. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do all of your arkan of prayer. Be present in the prayer, be rewarded for the prayer, and it can take a matter of minutes. So there's a lot of details in this question. One is the legal ramifications of your right as a person of this, as an employee, to practice your religion. And this is a very light practicing. We're not talking about you have to make the whole cafeteria halal, or we're not going that route. We're just saying I just need a space, a corner for 2 minutes every day to pray. If you can't do that, or in addition to that, combine your prayers, delay your dhuhr, bring up your asr, whatever the combination works for you, and inshallah you'll find one of these tools will help solve your problem. Wallahu a'lam.